The spirit calls her name just before dawn, soft enough to sound like wind, sharp enough to slice straight into her bones. Amara jolts awake, heart hammering, because the voice is not coming from outside her window. It's coming from the corner of her room. The darkest corner. The one even the lantern refuses to light. She doesn't scream, she knows better. Amara, the voice breathes again. She grips her blanket and forces her eyes away. Her mother always said, if a spirit calls you before sunrise, don't answer. If you answer, it follows you into the day. But the spirit whispers a third time, clearer now. Help me. Amara's breath freezes. Spirits do not ask for help, they demand, they warn, they take. Only one type pleads. The restless. She sits up slowly. The corner grows colder. The floorboards creak like something unseen is shifting its weight. She can't look. She knows if she stares too long, it will show its face. Girl, her mother calls sharply from outside. Wake up. Fetch water. The voice disappears instantly, sucked out of the room like someone pulled the air through a hole. Amara exhales shakily. She doesn't tell her mother. She never tells her mother. Her mother would beat the nonsense out of her or carry her to the shrine to be fixed. Because everyone in Amarachi knows one thing, children who hear spirits never live normal lives. Amara steps outside with her calabash bowl. The sun hasn't risen fully yet. The air is cold, and the sky is purple-blue. She should walk to the stream like every other girl. She should mind her business. But as soon as she reaches the village path, she hears it again. Help me, please. This time the voice is not coming from her room. It's drifting from the forest. The forbidden forest. Amara grips the calabash tighter. Her feet stop moving. She wants to run to the stream. She wants to pretend she hears nothing. But her gift, her curse, won't let her. When spirits cry, she hears them the way others hear thunder. Ignoring them hurts. Like needles behind her eyes. She takes one small step toward the trees. Girl, a voice snaps behind her. She jumps. It's Chima, the village troublemaker, carrying firewood on his head and smirking like always. What are you doing facing the forest? He asks. Are you trying to get swallowed? I'm just listening, she mutters. To what? Leaves. Chima scoffs. Everyone knows you're strange, but even strange children shouldn't wander there. She tightens her jaw. She hates when people call her strange. She hates how they whisper as she passes. The spirit girl. The cursed child. The one whose father ran away after she was born because he feared her eyes. Chima sighs dramatically. If you want to die, go. But don't say I didn't warn you. He walks away. The voice returns. Amara, hurry. Her heart lurches. She steps toward the forest. 1 step, 2.3. The shadows stretch between the trees like fingers reaching for her ankles. She hesitates at the threshold. The elders always warned. If you enter before sunrise, you walk with the dead. But the voice sounds like a child. A frightened child. Please. Her feet move before her mind agrees. The forest swallows her whole. The moment she enters, the air changes. It turns still, heavy, as though the forest is holding its breath. No birds chirp. No insects buzz. Her footsteps echo too loudly. She grips the calabash like a shield. Where are you? She whispers. Silence answers. Then, soft crying. She follows it. The sound pulls her deeper, through twisting roots and vines that seem to move when she isn't looking. Her skin prickles. Her breath grows shallow. The crying becomes louder. Younger. Desperate. She reaches a clearing. And freezes. At the center sits a boy no older than 10. His back is turned. His shoulders shake with sobs. His clothes are torn, covered in dust, like he has been wandering for a long time. Amora's voice trembles. Are you alive? The boy stops crying. Slowly, too slowly, he turns his head. His eyes are dark. Too dark, empty. Amora gasps and stumbles back. Spirits don't always reveal themselves with shadows and whispers. Sometimes they wear human faces first. The boy stands. You heard me, he says. You're the only one. He begins walking toward her, and the air grows colder with every step. Amora wants to run. But she's frozen, trapped between fear and pity. What do you want? She whispers. I want them to see me, he says. I want them to remember what they did. Amora swallows. Who? He lifts a hand and points toward the village. Your people. A chill slices down her spine. What did they do to you? She asks. He doesn't answer. Instead, he glides closer, not walks, glides, like his feet barely touch the ground. His shadow drags behind him unnaturally long. Amora takes a step back. The boy tilts his head. You're not afraid. I am, she answers honestly. Good, he whispers. Fear means you can still be saved. Before she can react, the trees behind her rustle violently. A wind she cannot explain slams through the clearing. Leaves swirl. Branches bend. Something invisible moves past her fast. The boy's head snaps toward the trees. No, he whispers. It's coming. Amora's heart slams against her ribs. What's coming? He grabs her wrist with ice-cold fingers. Run. Amora jerks away, stumbling, but he pushes her toward the path. Run, he cries again. She doesn't hesitate, she runs. Branches scratch her arms. Roots grab her ankles. The forest seems to fight her escape. Behind her, she hears the boy's voice shouting something she cannot understand. She bursts out of the trees just as the sun rises. The forest goes silent. The wind stops. Something stops chasing. Amora collapses to her knees, gasping. Villagers gather instantly, shouting in alarm. Her mother rushes to her, grabbing her shoulders. Amora. What were you doing inside there? Amora can't answer yet. Her chest heaves. Her hands shake. Her skin feels cold where the boy touched her. Her mother pulls her up. Let's go home. People are already talking. People always talking. Always. As they walk through the village, voices whisper around them. She went into the forest again. That girl will bring misfortune. She attracts spirits. She should have been taken to the shrine long ago. Her mother's grip tightens painfully. Inside their hut, her mother slams the door shut and spins on her. Do you want to die? Why do you always do this? Spirits are not your friends. Amora's voice cracks. He needed help. Her mother repeats, eyes widening with fear. You saw one. Amora nods. Her mother covers her mouth in dread. We must go to the priest. Immediately. Before it follows you. Amora shakes her head violently. Mother, please, not the priest. He always looks at me like I'm diseased. He is the only one who can stop spirits from entering your head, her mother insists. Amora feels rage boil in her chest. They don't enter my head. They talk to me because no one else listens. Her mother steps back, trembling. She doesn't understand. She never has. Amora storms outside. The village is awake now. Women sweep. Men gather to discuss farm work. Children run through the dust. Except one. A boy stands near the well, staring straight at her. It's him. The spirit boy. Amora's breath catches. She freezes. No one else reacts. No one notices him. He is standing in plain sight, yet invisible to everyone except her. He lifts one finger and curls it slowly. Come. Amora swallows hard and steps toward him. He turns and walks behind a hut. She follows cautiously. When she rounds the corner, he's waiting. You shouldn't have run, he says. You told me to, she whispers. I told you to run from it, he says. Not from me. Amora lowers her voice. What is it? He shivers. The one who trapped me here. The one who feeds on forgotten souls. The one your people pretend doesn't exist. Amora's skin crawls. Why me? Why can I hear you? Because your shadow is awake, he says. My shadow. The boy nods. Most shadows sleep beside their owners. Yours listens. Yours watches. Yours isn't blind like the others. Amora glances down at her shadow on the ground. It looks normal, but she suddenly feels like it's breathing. What do you want me to do? She whispers. He steps closer. Help me finish my death. Her heart stops. Finish your death? Yes. My body is gone. My voice is gone. My memory is fading. But my truth remains. And truth cannot die until it is heard. What truth? She asks. The boy looks toward the village square. They killed me, he says quietly. Your people. Amora's stomach twists. Who killed you? She whispers. He lifts his eyes to hers. My father. Amora staggers back. Why? Because I saw something I shouldn't have, the boy says. Something he did. Something terrible. When I threatened to tell, he decided silence was easier. Amora feels sick. And the village covered it up. They buried it, he says. Buried me too. But spirits don't stay buried if injustice roots too deep. Amora grasps his arm instinctively. Her hand passes through like cold smoke. What do you want me to do? He leans closer. His voice drops. Bring my father to the forest. At sunset. Alone. Amora's pulse spikes. Why alone? Because only truth and guilt can enter that place without dying. And if I don't? He stares at her with hollow eyes. Then others will die instead. Amora feels cold spread across her skin. Who are you? She breathes. The boy's voice becomes almost human again. My name is Tendo. She repeats it softly. Tendo, what if your father refuses to come? Tendo's shadow stretches unnaturally long behind him. Then I will take his name, he whispers. Then I will take his blood. Amora shivers. You don't want that, she says. I want justice, Tendo says. And justice has a long memory. He fades slowly, dissolving like dust blown by the wind. Amora stands alone behind the hut, her chest rising and falling in fast, terrified breaths. Tendo wants her to confront a murderer. A murderer, the village protected. A murderer who might still hide inside one of these huts. She turns toward the village. People greet her. People wave. People walk past without seeing the storm inside her. Tendo's father could be any of them. Any man, any face. She suddenly sees her people differently, not as neighbors, not as elders, but as liars. Sun climbs higher, hours pass. And Amora waits. Her mind races with questions, her heartbeat never settles, every man she sees could be the one. Finally, she approaches the only person who might know old secrets. The oldest woman in the village, Momankiru, who has seen more years than anyone else and has a knowledge of past sins no one talks about. Amora finds her sitting outside, weaving a basket. Mama, Amora whispers. I need to ask about a boy. Momankiru doesn't look up. Many boys have lived here. Many are dead. This one died unjustly, Amora says softly. The old woman's hands freeze. Slowly, she lifts her head. Her eyes narrow. Why do you ask? Amora hesitates. His name was Tendo. The basket slips from Momankiru's hands. She grips Amora's arm with surprising strength. Who told you that name? Amora's voice trembles. He did. Momankiru goes pale. You saw him? Amora nods. The old woman closes her eyes, shaking her head. Then the forest has opened again. Amora leans closer. Who was Tendo's father? Momankiru's lips tremble. Chief Dangana. Amora nearly loses her balance. The chief, the leader of the village, the man everyone bows to. Tendo tried to expose something the chief did, Momankiru says. Something only a few of us suspected. But the chief silenced him. And the village helped bury the truth. Amora feels her stomach twist. What did the chief do? Momankiru hesitates. Something unforgivable. Amora's voice drops. I have to confront him. No, Momankiru whispers. If you confront him, he will kill you too. A shadow passes behind them. A cold breeze moves. Amora doesn't turn. She already knows who it is. Tendo. His voice curls into her ear like smoke. Sunset is coming. Her heartbeat thunders. Momankiru whispers, Child, run from this. Leave the village. Save yourself. Amora shakes her head slowly. No. She stands. I'm going to finish Tendo's death. Amora walks through the village square with her heart pounding like a drum someone is beating too hard. Every familiar face suddenly looks dangerous. Every smile suddenly feels false. Every doorway looks like it might hide a truth she's not supposed to uncover. Chief Dongona's compound stands tall at the far end of the village. Larger than others. Better built. Guarded by carved masks mounted on stakes. Masks meant to frighten spirits away. But they can't frighten the spirit following her. Tendo flickers at her side like a shadow made of smoke. You must hurry, he whispers. Sunset is not patient. Amora swallows. What if he denies it? Tendo's expression hardens. I will know. The villagers greet Amora as she passes, oblivious to the boy walking beside her, oblivious to the cold fog slipping through their legs. Oblivious to the thin layer of death moving with her through the dust. She reaches the chief's gate. 2 guards stand there. One raises a hand. Amora, what do you want? An audience with the chief, she says. The other guards nod. You. Why? She meets his eyes. Because injustice doesn't sleep forever. The words come out stronger than she expected. The guards blink, startled. They don't understand the depth of what she just said, but her tone unsettles them. Tell him I'm here, she says. They exchange glances, then one enters the compound. Seconds feel like minutes. Tendo waits silently, hollow eyes fixed on the entrance. Amora folds her arms to hide the shaking. The guard returns. The chief will see you. Amora steps inside. The compound is quiet. Too quiet. Even the chickens avoid the yard. Too much fear lives here. Chief Dangana sits on his carved wooden stool, draped in a red wrapper, beads heavy around his neck. His face is stern, unreadable. His eyes, sharp like a hunter's. As Amora approaches, Tendo stands behind her, invisible to the living. The chief studies her. You are the spirit girl. She forces her breath steady. I am Amora. He raises a brow. And why have you come? Tendo's cold whisper brushes her ear. Say my name. Amora lifts her chin. I came because of Tendo. Chief Dangana stiffens, only slightly, but enough. Amora sees it. You remember that name, she says quietly. I remember many names, he replies. Not like this one, she says. This one belongs to your son. The chief's expression cracks for half a second. A flicker. A shadow. Then hardens. My son died of fever many years ago. Why disturb old wounds? He didn't die of fever, Amora answers. He died because you chose silence over truth. The room goes still. The air thickens. A breeze slices through even though the windows are closed. Tendo steps closer, his shadow rises along the wall. Chief Dongona's voice drops low. Child, you are speaking dangerously. So are you, Amora says. But unlike you, I am speaking truth. The chief stands, the beads around his neck rattling like bones. Leave my compound now. Amora doesn't move. He wants you to come to the forest at sunset, she says. Alone. Chief Dangana blinks. He. Tendo, she whispers. The chief's command cracks. Enough. Tendo's voice echoes through the room. Father. Chief Dangana freezes, his skin pales, his mouth opens, but no sound escapes. Amora watches realization bloom, and fear sour behind it. You hear him, Amora says. Don't lie. The chief's voice trembles. No. 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 Tendo materializes behind Amora, visible for the first time. Not fully human, but enough. Chief Dangana staggers back, hand over his chest. It's not possible. You killed me, Tendo says quietly. You killed your own blood. The chief collapses onto his stool. His breath breaks. His face contorts with terror that looks too much like guilt. I didn't mean to, he whispers. Tendo steps closer. Shadows twist at his feet. Say it. Out loud. Chief Dangana shakes his head violently. No. People will hear. People will know. That is the point, Tendo says. Amora watches both of them, father and son, murderer and victim, truth and corruption, standing on opposite sides of a wound that has festered too long. Chief Dongona's voice drops to a whisper. I only wanted to quiet him. I only pushed him. He fell. You pushed me down the well, Tendo says flatly. You watched me drown. Amora's breath catches. Chief Dangana breaks. Tears spill down his face. He covers his ears as if the truth itself burns. Don't say it, he sobs. Please. Amora steps forward. You have to come to the forest. At sunset. The chief's head snaps up. No. If I go there, I will die. If you don't, Amora says, others will. The chief's breathing grows wild. He looks from Amora to Tendo to the doorway, as if calculating escape routes. Then he bolts. Just runs. Straight out the back of the compound. Tendo's scream rattles the windows. Don't let him escape. Amora runs after him instantly. Tendo glides beside her, faster, colder. The chief flees through the village like a madman. People shout, startled. Market baskets fall. Chickens scatter. Dust rises as he sprints toward the far fields, toward the open plains. Amora chases him, lungs burning. Tendo moves ahead, cutting through the air. He's running toward the river, Amora gasps. He thinks he can wash guilt away, Tendo mutters. They reach the riverbank just as the chief trips in the mud. He collapses, exhausted and sobbing. Tendo stands over him like a shadow cast by death's lantern. Please, the chief weeps. Please let me go. Did you let me go? Tendo asks. Chief Dangana cries harder. I panicked. I thought no one would believe a child. I thought it would ruin me. I thought. You thought only of yourself, Tendo says. And now your truth will drown you. The river stills. The wind stops. Even nature waits. Amora steps between them. Tendo, you said only truth and guilt can enter the forest and survive. If he runs, he survives without truth. And you get no justice. Tendo's eyes burn like embers. The chief trembles. I will go. I will go with you. Just don't take my life. Tendo turns his hollow gaze on Amora. You brought him here, he says. Now lead him. Amora nods. Chief. Stand up. He rises shakily, leaning on a tree for support. His once powerful posture is gone. He looks smaller. Broken. Human. They walk back to the forest together. Villagers gather, whispering, confused, alarmed. Some call the chief's name. He doesn't answer. He doesn't look up. Shame is a heavy stone. At the forest edge, Amora stops. Tendo, she says quietly, is this where you want him? Tendo floats forward. No, he says. Deeper. The chief whimpers. Amora swallows her fear. Follow me. They step inside. The forest closes behind them like a door shutting. The temperature drops, the air thickens, shadows twist. As they walk, Tendo's form grows sharper. More solid. Like truth is stitching him back together. The chief's form does the opposite. His shadow flickers, shrinking, trembling. Amora whispers, Tendo, what happens in the heart of the forest? Tendo doesn't look at her. Justice. When they reach the clearing, the same clearing where Amora first found Tendo, the forest seems to bow inward. Leaves shiver without wind. The ground pulses faintly. The chief falls to his knees. Please, please spare me. I'm begging you. Tendo floats in front of him. You buried my voice, he says. Now speak. The chief sobs until he can't breathe. Then the confession spills out of him, ugly and shaking. I killed him, he screams. I killed my son. He saw me steal money from the village treasury. He said he would tell the elders. I pushed him. He fell into the well. I closed the lid. I lied. I lied for years. His voice echoes through the clearing like something breaking. The forest exhales, the leaves sigh, the air shifts. Tendo closes his eyes. That is truth, he says. The chief collapses completely, face in the dirt, shaking uncontrollably. Amora looks at Tendo. Is it done? Tendo opens his eyes slowly. No. Before she can react, the ground beneath the chief cracks. A low rumble shakes the clearing. Roots coil upward like serpents. Soil spills. The ground opens like a hungry mouth. Chief Dangana screams. Please. Tendo. I confessed. I told the truth. Tendo watches him calmly. Truth frees the innocent. It does not protect the guilty. The chief tries to crawl away, but the forest pulls him back. Roots coil around his legs, dragging him toward the opening. Amora, he screams. Help me. She steps back. Tendo's cold hand rests on her shoulder. This is not your burden, he says. You carried mine. The roots tighten, the ground swallows more, the chief's scream becomes higher, raw. Forgive me, he howls. Tendo whispers, ask the well. With one final pull, the ground drags Chief Dangana down, the earth seals shut, the forest becomes still. Amora covers her mouth, horrified. Tendo, that was justice, he says simply. He turns to her. The hollow emptiness in his eyes softens, for the first time. You did what the living could not, he says. You listened. You faced truth. You carried my voice. Amora's throat tightens. What happens to you now? Tendo looks at his hands. They are fading. Light seeps through his form. My debt is finished, he says. I can sleep. Amora steps closer. Will I see you again? Tendo smiles softly. A real smile. A boy's smile. No, he whispers. And that is mercy. His form dissolves into particles of light, his shadow lifts off the ground like smoke rising, the forest breathes again, relieved. Amora stands alone. Utterly alone. She walks out of the forest in silence. The villagers gather immediately. Where is the chief? Someone asks. Amora looks at them, really looks. The same people who protected a murderer. The same people who called her cursed. The same people who buried truth. She answers with a steady voice. The forest took what it was owed. Gasps erupt. Questions fly. Elders demand explanations. Mothers clutch their children. The village trembles with fear. Amora walks past them. She doesn't owe them comfort. She returns home. Her mother meets her at the doorway, tears rushing into her eyes. Amora, you're alive. Amora steps into her mother's embrace, but her voice is distant. Some truths, she murmurs, are heavier than survival. That night, Amora lies awake. Not because she hears spirits, but because she hears silence. A deep, peaceful silence she has never known. She closes her eyes. And for the first time in her life, no spirit calls her name. But just before she sleeps, something shifts in the moonlight. Her shadow moves. Not much. Just enough. As if stretching. As if waking. As if remembering what the forest whispered. Truth never dies. It waits. And now, so does she. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, comment what you learned from it, and share it with your friends and family who may need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue enjoying more captivating stories like this one.